Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com. NASA climate scientist Peter Kalmus says Joe Biden must declare a climate emergency and he must do so now. I'm terrified by what's being done to our planet. I'm also fighting to stop it. You too should be afraid while also taking the strongest action you can take. There's never been a summer like this in recorded history. Shocking ocean heat, deadly land heat, unprecedented fires and smoke, sea ice melting faster than we've ever seen or thought possible. Coral reefs as we know them will be gone from our planet by mid-century. Fascinating claims, except for the fact that none of them are true. The world's largest coral reef, the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, has record amounts of coral since measurements began in 1985. And 50 years ago, scientists said that the Great Barrier Reef was doomed. 2 years ago, with coral coverage at a record high, the Sydney Morning Herald said Barrier Reef doomed is up to 99% of coral at risk. Corals and shellfish appeared in the ocean 540 million years ago, with atmospheric carbon dioxide 15 times higher than now, and global temperatures more than 10 degrees Celsius warmer than they are at present. The greatest expansion of life on Earth occurred right at a time when carbon dioxide levels were at their peak. Atmospheric carbon dioxide levels have been much higher than at present for most of the last 600 million years. And we have 600 million years of Earth's history which show that life loves high carbon dioxide levels. NASA has documented that Earth has gotten much greener as increasing levels of carbon dioxide fertilize the plants on Earth. Kalmus demonstrated that he doesn't understand coral reefs and has no idea what he's talking about. He also says we have unprecedented fires and deadly land heat. What is unprecedented about forest fires in the United States this year is that burn acreage is at an historic low. So far this year, burn acreage in the United States is down 98% from 1930. And burn acreage in the United States so far this year is down more than 99% from when atmospheric carbon dioxide was at pre-industrial levels. Once again, NASA climate scientist Peter Kalmus has everything exactly backwards. And it's the same story with heat waves. So far this year, only 51% of the United States has reached 95 degrees Fahrenheit or 35 degrees Celsius. This is a record low, down from 93% in 1931. To get a feel for how much hotter the United States used to be, this animation compares the heat wave of 2023 versus the heat wave of 1936. Red dots show places which reached 100 degrees, and pink dots show places which reached 110 degrees. As you can see, 1936 was much hotter than this summer in the United States. This graph shows the difference between 1936 peak temperatures and those in 2023. Red bars were hotter in 1936, and the blue bars were hotter in 2023. Many states in 1936 were more than 15 degrees hotter during 1936 than they have been this summer. Kalmus said there's never been a summer like this before in recorded history, which may be true because the coverage of heat and forest fires in the United States this year is close to a record low. It appears that reality is the exact opposite of what Peter Kalmus wants people to believe. Kalmus said sea ice is melting faster than we've ever seen or thought possible. Once again, the exact opposite is true. July 29th, the Arctic sea ice extent is the highest in 17 years and almost as high as 1995. There's been essentially no trend in Arctic sea ice over the last 17 years. The 365-day mean of Arctic sea ice extent is higher now than it was in 2007 when Al Gore won the Nobel Prize and predicted an ice-free Arctic by 2014. And it's a similar story in Greenland. Over the last 11 months, the surface of the Greenland ice sheet has gained 450 billion tons of ice. 5 of the last 7 years have seen ice gains on Greenland's surface above the 1981 to 2010 average. Greenland isn't melting down. The surface of the Greenland ice sheet, which is what is exposed to the atmosphere and exposed to weather, has been gaining unusually large amounts of ice. Everything Peter Kalmus said was complete nonsense, but the most ridiculous thing was him saying, Joe Biden must declare a climate emergency. The assumption here is that Joe Biden can control the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. But the reality is that the United States could drop off the face of the earth and it would have very little impact on the growth of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. U.S. carbon dioxide emissions have been declining for 20 years, while they've been skyrocketing in China. The only way anybody could stop the growth of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere would be to get Asia to stop emitting more CO2. But they have no interest in doing that. The growth of fossil fuel usage around the world has been growing very quickly over the last 20 years. Fossil fuel usage has been growing much faster than wind and solar, which make up a very small percent. And it makes no difference which party is in the White House. Atmospheric carbon dioxide levels this year under Biden have soared to a record high. Peter Kalmus is either incompetent, very dishonest, or both. He's using the good reputation of NASA to spread this misinformation. And the people at NASA who gave the agency a good reputation aren't happy about the climate scam. 49 astronauts and scientists from the Apollo program, which put men on the moon, sent a letter to the NASA administrator blasting the agency for making unwarranted claims about the role of carbon dioxide in global warming. The people with the right stuff who put us on the moon agree with Toto. This is a climate scam which Toto has been exposing for the past 15 years. You can visit Toto, Kyrie Caesar, Toki Upla, and the 4 new puppies on the web at realclimatescience.com.